What up? What up? It's your boy Rich. Real Talker Rich is back in the building. What's going on, everybody? Yes, indeed. Good to see you guys, man. It is. I hope you guys are having a great Sunday evening, and I'm glad you're here. Want to shout out to Black Comic Lords, Black Superheroes Forever fam. Want to also just shout out everybody that's watching us all over the world. We got fam in the UK. We got fam all over the states, and so man, I'm so happy you guys are here. Got a dope show for you tonight. Don't get into it. Don't want to delay the time. Want to just say what up to my brother Robert Monroe Jr. Pericles was good. Gordon, I see you. I see you. I'm glad you guys are here, man, and everybody else is going to be joining. If you're on your way in, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you're feeling a little charitable tonight, we ask that you will support the channel through a super chat or donation. It'd be greatly appreciated. It helps us keep the lights on or whatever. So what's going on, L Dog? Good to see you, sir. But yeah, man, let's get into the shenanigans on tonight. So first, we're gonna hit you with a segment of our show called Low Hanging Fruit. That's a segment of the show where we talk about the news and everything that goes on with that. So our first article tonight is a CBR article. Michael B. Jordan mirrors Blade in first look upcoming vampire film. According to this here, it says Michael B. Jordan channels his inner Blade in the new behind-the-scenes photos of the filming his upcoming vampire movie. Acclaimed actor and director Michael B. Jordan channels his inner Wesley Snipes while shooting his latest movie. The Black Panther franchise star mirrors Blade as he films his upcoming vampire movie. I don't know if he's doing all of that, but okay. I guess, Jody. Per Holly Steinsfield source on X, on-set photos from the untitled film show Jordan sporting a haircut and goatee reminiscent of Snipes' badass character. Oh my God. What? Stop. CBR be capping too much, I swear. So anyway, the visuals also show the vintage settings used for the period piece, which is set in the Jim Crow era South and plays up to Southern supernatural traditions. Principal photography on the untitled film began filming in New Orleans earlier this month with Ryan Coogler, the Black Panther director, leading. Upcoming movie was landed in Warner Brothers this past January following a bidding war with Universal Pictures and other studios, with studios executives believing the film has franchise potential. Okay. Coogler and Jordan have proved themselves as a winning combination in the past by working on Fruitvale Station, Black Panther, and the Creed franchise. Details about Jordan and Coogler's secret vampire movie, however, remain scarce. Jordan will purportedly play the vampire in the film, though there is speculation he will occupy multiple roles. The feature-length project recently buffered its cast with the addition of Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse star Hailey Steinfeld, the Batman actor Jamie Lawson, and Loki's Winami Musaku, Delroy Lindo, and Jack O'Connell have also been confirmed to appear in the Warner Brothers flick. Jordan's last big film that he put out was, of course, we know, was Creed 3, and opposite of Tessa Thompson and Jonathan Majors. And the threequel, being the most financially successful of the franchise, grossed over $275 million at the global box office. Creed 4 was confirmed last November, with Jordan again directing and starring in the sequel. So that's coming out as well. So yeah, Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan back with the shenanigans again. So they did a lot of capping in this video in terms of trying to liken this to Blade, and I think that's them wanting to tether themselves to the MCU in some kind of way, or some superhero genre type of way. And they really don't have to do that. So, I'm gonna call cap on this. I'm gonna call cap on this. So yeah, we gonna call cap on that. So anyway, our next video, or our next article, I should say, is a comic book movie article. Speaking of Blade, there's a rumor out here, y'all, that Wesley Snipes is set to return as Blade in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. 1998's Blade and his first sequel are still held in very high regard. Blade Trinity, not so much, but many fans of the Marvel Comics character feel that Wesley Snipes' iconic take on the titular vampire Slayer role will be hard to top in the upcoming reboot, which is probably why they keep starting and stopping and starting and stopping, because they know that they're probably not going to be able to top it. We hope that they will, but yeah. So anyway, every few years, there's always a rumor that, maybe they get Blade or get Wesley Snipes to come in and play Blade, or at least just a supporting role or something. This is the guy that's kind of responsible for the MCU. That's definitely not Cap. But this comes up every now and then. But now the rumors got a little steam to them. So the point that the thought is that Snipes will return as Blade in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, perhaps in the multiverse capacity. He may play himself or play Blade, in a multiverse setting with, Mahershala Ali still playing Blade. So there may be multiple Blades in the upcoming MCU. We don't know. This is just a rumor. But according to Daniel Rickman, the New Jack City star will reprise his role as Blade in the multiverse saga and is already signed to do some stuff there. So we don't have a whole lot to go on, but this is accurate. But if this is accurate, the most likely projects for Snipes to appear will be in this summer's Deadpool and Wolverine, which we already set to know to feature a number of variants, or Avengers Secret Wars, unless the Blade reboot also includes some multiverse elements. When asked about the possibility of suiting up as Blade again in a 2022 article or interview with comicbook.com, Snipes said, "Never say never. Long as I'm healthy and in shape, I can rock with them. Yeah, as far as my predictions on if something like that happened in the future, I don't know. It seems to me that it would have happened already. But hey, never say never. No Marvel studio has not approached me as of yet. I'm still working on my acting skills. So when I come up as an actor, maybe they'll reach out and say, hey, let's have a conversation. Or maybe they don't feel like I'm an ensemble player. Behind the scenes, the situation with Blade in itself is interesting in that, him and David S. Goyer, I think that's the guy, they butted heads a lot. And I think all of that was kind of wasn't completely clear in the third Blade movie, but the third Blade movie was not that good. And so you can see how it was kind of scattered or whatever. The movie kind of didn't lack direction. It was more shock jock material than anything. But yeah, so we'll see. So, what you guys think about this rumor? You think it's any meat to this bone or what? I don't know personally. I just know that hey, if he shows up, I'm with it. Like the manifesto says, like Michael Keaton's Batman. So yeah. So what's going on, guys? Man, look, Gordon Mahan says, Rich, thank you for the recommendation regarding the documentary Death of Black Gods. That's what's up. Glad you enjoyed it. So yeah. So Wesley's gonna be 62 though. Yeah. Well, it is what it is. So I mean, if it happens, it happens. It don't, it don't. So it wasn't Ryan Reynolds in Blade 3. Yes, he was. He played Hannibal King. That's who he played. He played Hannibal King, which is actually a character in the Tomb of Dracula comic book. So yeah, Ryan Reynolds. That's the role he had before he got the Deadpool franchise, and before that, even the Green Lantern, the yucky Green Lantern story or movie. So yeah, he was. So anyway, guys, look, we at Black Comic Lords want to salute one of our own. We want to salute my man Paul. Paul had a chance to go out to New York this weekend and hang out and hobnob with some of the good people at the Schaumburg Black Comic Book Festival. And he got a lot of footage, talked to a lot of people. He was out there presidential. So shout out to my mans in them for hanging out and got a chance. Saw some of the pictures, some of the guys. Shout out to Tribe. Shout out to Greg Elise. I'm not gonna mess up your name, but the writer of Is Nana the Weird Spider. But it was a lot of different people. And, he got a lot of footage. And so we was glad to see that. I'm glad he had a good time, and we're going to chop it up behind the scenes about, maybe our future, uh, being a part of the Schaumburg in a higher level, on a deeper level, or just serving this community in a better way, if that makes any sense. With that said, we're going to go ahead and take a commercial break. And what you're going to get in this commercial break, you're going to get a chance to see Jeff Carroll, who's a legendary comic book artist in our community. This guy's been around a long time. He has a comic book called The Twa Man, where it's a story talking about the Black presence in Ireland. And so this guy, he loves history. He's a horror guy as well. So, all the horror stuff that you see, this is one of the OGs. So while we go to commercial break, check out this spotlight, and we'll be right back with the segment on tonight, the main segment on tonight. I think you guys are going to enjoy the topic. We're going to talk about buy my comic book, just don't open it. And I'll explain what that means when we get back. Be right back, guys.
Hey, this is Jeff Carroll. I'm out here at the Black Comic Book Fest in Harlem, sharing my books and works with the Black Comic Lords. And one of the books that I have just came out is Fingernails, Book 2. It's a paranormal investigator thing, Scooby-Doo. And it's a girl that changes into a gargoyle, and she shows that all ghosts aren't bad. So she takes on different ghosts. And in this one, she's dealing with ghosts in the projects. So I have a variety of titles. I have the Horror Shake series, which I've explored different short fiction stories. And what I do have coming out is in August. This will be in previews in July. The Last Harlemite takes place in a post-apocalyptic New York City, manga style, inspired by the series, the movie Akira. So please check me out. This is going to be in comic book stores. My name is Jeff Carroll. You can check me online, Instagram, or Facebook. Nice to meet you. Let's do it. Everything's
All right, we back. So, shout out to my man Jeff Carroll out there at the Schaumburg. What's going on? What's going on 10100 podcast? Good to see you, sir. Glad you're here. Styles so serious says, tell Paul to keep that red line energy. I'm sure he will. Robert Monroe says, I want to go to Black Comic Fest, just couldn't make it this year. BCL should definitely be a part of it. That's what's up. So we'll see. Bye, boy versus what up, what up, what up. So anyway, we are in our subject matter tonight, low down the rabbit hole. That's a subject or a segment of our show where we like to dig a little deep, stir up a little trouble, get a little spicy, if that makes any sense. And so tonight we're going to talk about please buy my comic, just don't open it. The trouble with interior art in comics. All of us have gone to the shop, went online, bought a comic book, was impressed by the outside of the cover art, looked at the art and said, man, this is fire. Only to open it up and to see that the interior art looks nothing like the cover. Bait and switch almost. Here's the thing. Now, a lot of people think that certain people don't buy comics because either they don't like the character, which is the case in some cases. Some people don't like what writers or editors are doing with the characters. Styles will say, "Don't do this. Do not do this, Rich." No, we doing it tonight, my brother. They don't like, but some people um don't buy books because of the art. I was trolling on the internet. Now, I shouldn't use the word trolling. I should say I was strolling on the internet, and I was looking at a few things, and one of the common themes was that certain people made the distinction, say, "Hey, look, I don't buy certain books because if the interior art is not good, I'm not going to buy it. I don't care what it is." And there's something to be said about that. You know, we all know that cover art is the hook that a lot of people use to get someone to show interest in a book. We know that. That's no big secret, right? However, you do want your book, the interior art, to be complementary to what's on the outside, which is why a lot of dudes, there's a lot of dudes getting a lot of bread for just doing covers. Cannon White, Olivier Coipel, lots of different dudes that are doing covers because they are serious with the pen. They are no joke. They are good. One of my favorite cover artists is Alex Ross. Alex Ross can do interior art, but Alex Ross don't have to do interior art. Alex Ross really makes a lot of dough just doing covers. Amir says Sanford Green. He's another one. And it's cool. But see, here's the thing about Sanford Green that I like. When I buy a Sanford Green book, the Sanford Green book on the cover is the same as the Sanford Green book in the interior. If he's doing the interiors, it's going to look just like the cover. He is one of the few, shout out to him. He is one of the few that can do both. But this ain't everybody ministry. And Marvel and DC and certain independents, we all know they get the hot guy that's doing comics to do a cover. Then they go overseas and get somebody to do the cover art or the interior art, and it's nowhere near what you're getting. So my question is to guys, do you feel like you're being ripped off? Because again, that's a big FOG. Do you feel like you're being ripped off when you get a fire cover book and the interior art of that comic book is just not that good? He says that Alex Ross has that upcoming Fantastic Four with Mr. Fantastic getting his face chewed like the chick. Yeah, I'm gonna get a copy. I love Alex Ross, man. And I've seen Alex Ross do interior art. Alex Ross interior art is the same as it is the cover. But everybody doesn't do that. And the truth be told, there's the rate for a cover, and I guess the rate for interior page is different. I just know that a lot of times I pick up a comic book and I like the cover, it's dope or whatever, and then I open it up and be like, oh my God, this is hideous. So I'm just wondering, do you feel cheated when you get a book and this cover is fire, and then you open it up and like, man, what is this? Now I understand. Now Gordon says yes, if the interior art's good, then it's not worth the investment. I mean, it is what it is. He says no, because the covers that I buy tend to be in bins 90% lower than cover. Okay. Yeah, the variant game messed up a lot of things. It did. Mr. DC Comics is Alex Ross is better on covers. Yeah, I mean, I think his art is comparable when he does interior art. I mean, it may not be the 100% same because there's a lot of work that you have to do on interior art versus um, cover art. Now I'll give you another artist that's whose art is comparable to what they do from covers, and that's Dennis Cowan. Dennis Cowan's art on the cover is the same as it is in the interiors. There's very little difference. And so it's like if I'm buying a comic book, I like to think that I'm getting quality, not just a cover. You know what I'm saying? Now Gordon says I refused to buy books because they had a great cover, but the interior art was terrible. Yeah, some books it's like, man. And here's the thing with me: I'm a story guy, so I will defer to story. You know what I'm saying? If the art is not good, if the story is great, then I'm okay with it. But I'm not going to act like I'm just head over heels in love with stuff when I see it because it's like, God, dog, man, what is this? And I do understand that art is subjective and what one person finds beautiful, another person might find is hideous. I get that. It's just like, for example, people initially when Philadelphia came out, right? Some people, were looking at Jason Sean Alexander's art. It's like, man, what is this? That's how it's supposed to be. It's a horror comic. It's supposed to be, kind of haunting. You know what I'm saying? He's right there in, right there with Rodney Barnes, him telling the story and him describing or being able to, you know, narrate the story through his pen. That's what you want. You know what I'm saying? So, and I love artists that have a style and and I've said this before. I love when I'm able to, you dope when somebody can look at your art and automatically say, yeah, that's so and so, that's so and so. So, yeah. Robin Monroe says, first time I saw Ross artwork on Marvels, it blew me away. Oh yeah. Doommaker, what's happening? Good to see you, sir. Appreciate you being here. Darius Cobb says cello, and yes, Image suffered not only with the lack of interiors, but also dialogue in the 1990s. Yeah. And again, I'm just saying, guys, I'm not here to throw nobody under the bus. As you can see, the little box that you see the comic book on the inside, right? And it's in a box. It's like, buy my comic book. When people want us to buy their comic books, we know that. But the problem is they don't want us to open it because the minute we open it, we gonna want our money back or we ain't gonna want to buy it. You know what I'm saying? It's tough. But I want to have this conversation because again, it's like, okay, can I really fault a dude for not wanting to buy a comic book if the comic book is not matching up? If the cover art looks completely different than the interior art, it's a weird deal. All I know is that, sometimes I feel like I've been robbed. So Style So Serious says JLA Volume 2, issue number 17. Black Lightning was on the cover, but no Black Lightning, but Duffy did the writing, so it was good. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing too, sometimes you'll get books and that I know that cover is nowhere in the book. You know what I'm saying? They were doing this, they've been fetishizing Black women like this. A lot of times you'll see a picture of a comic book, it'll be a Black woman on the cover. And it'd be beautiful, right? But there's no Black woman inside the book. And independents are doing this, and the big two have done this. So, there's a lot of bait and switch going on. MD Bright and Dan Fernando Ruiz art matches the covers. Yeah, there's a few guys that can do it, but everybody can't do it. Alex Ross' best work is with DC. Yeah. I mean, he's had a long-standing relationship with DC. No doubt. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff he did for I think it was Kingdom. The art that he did, the JSA stuff is dope. He doesn't really. I mean, he did the Marvels and villains and heroes and villains just a couple years ago. He did that, and that was all right. You know what I'm saying? I really wasn't. I like the Black Light. I mean, I like the Black Panther one. I like the Storm one. I like the Falcon one that he did. Notice they all black, y'all. So I just really didn't like too much of the other stuff. Now I did like his. I think I did like his Colossus. I just like the way that dude. That dude's aesthetic is just incredible. That dude is cold with the pen. So yeah. Let's see. Now, 101 Podcast says the thing is covers are made to draw you in, so they will always put out their best artists on covers, but the best artists aren't always willing to commit to an ongoing. This is true. This is true. Seacoast, the Dynamite Comics once said that they made more money off of variants than actual books. I mean, Alex Ross was doing Dynamite books for a minute. So yeah, I'm pretty sure they did. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that dude is money wherever he goes. Anthony Davis says, I'm okay with it if it means just the regular artists don't break and that they use a filler artist for issues 1 and 2. I just wish that it wouldn't happen as often. I'll say it like that. Yeah, so. The Manifesto says, usually with indies, you know what art you're getting from the cover. Yeah, but I have been disappointed. I'm not going to act like everybody's got the best art, interior art. There's some art that's been amazing, independent stuff that's amazing. Matter of fact, shout out to the guys at Concrete. Their art is stellar. I just finished reading Acolyte #5 and Zuriel #1, and I was definitely pleased. Acolyte is always that artist in the Acolyte is always dope. So yeah. So yeah, man. I mean, I mean, it's just one of those things that we, as collectors and as people that buy comics, or whatever, because sometimes when you read a comic book, you be trying to like get through the book, but you want to be able to like stop and look at and see and admire what you're looking at, if that makes any sense. But a lot of times when the artist, not as good, you're like, man, I'm trying to go with it. I'm trying to get something out of this, but I can't because this art is just not that good. It's and like I say, I will accept story. If a guy's telling me a dope story, I will defer to art. I won't put emphasis on the art. But the story got to be good. But if the story is whack and the art is whack, then I feel like I've been robbed. Just saying. So yeah. Manifesto says, I have purchased black indies with mediocre art to support. Yeah, I think we all have. I think we've all done that. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of Ed Black Tax is something else, is all I say. Ed Black Tax it cuts one way and it cuts both ways. It cuts going in and cuts coming out. So whether it's the big two or whether it's like, you know what, I'm support my brother, I'm support my sister. But look, there are some dope people in this industry, and I salute all of them. But there's a lot of cats in here that, man, it's like, wow. He said, what was that #1 from Concrete you just got again? Zuriel. I have it around here. I think I got a picture. Yeah, here it is. This book here, Zuriel, issue #1. Just read this, finished reading this. So yeah. But this is the Acolyte #5, issue 5. Dope. And the interior, let me see if I can. He's got there's some dope stuff in here, man. Dope art as far as, see if I can just, like this one here, like this page here. You know what I'm saying? That's like Marvel DC quality. And if you're going to be independent Your stuff has got to be on par to that. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to be 100%, but you got to be kind of like right there because again, it's competition, whether you want it to be or not. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you're trying to get people interested in your comic book or whatever, your story is. I mean, your comic book cover has to be a drawing mechanism. It has to draw people in. That's that. None of us can fight that. That's part of it. But at the same time, it's like, you know, if I'm looking at this and it's got some dope interior art to go with it, then I'm good with that. And I'll be honest, I will make for good art. Your story don't have to be excellent. I want it to be good. I don't want it to be bad. If your interior art is dope, then we can make some, you know, concessions for that. So it's like, okay, if I buy a comic book and that comic book is $10, right? I like to think that that the book is worth every penny. That the art and the story is worth every penny. That's what everybody wants. No one wants to feel like they cheated. Cause that don't feel good, bro. That does not feel good at all. So Super Slabs in the building. What up? What up, Mr. Mike Carson? See you doing your thing. Y'all support my man Super Slabs. You know, y'all give him a follow. Check out his content. He's quietly building something special over at Super Slabs, man. So free comic book game. Azelle Ray says, which is worse, great art, bad story, or great story, bad art? In my humble opinion, Azelle, what's worse? Great story, bad art. Great story, bad art. Now, I'm saying that objectively. Now, me personally, as a story person, I prefer story over art. But to be objective with what you're asking me, I have to say that that's worse. And the reason why I say great story, bad art is because you like to be able to like go back and reread your books or go back and just check out the pages again. You know what I'm saying? I mean, how many times have you bought a comic book, right? And you read the book and you stuck it in a bag and board and it's in that short box, that long box, and you have no interest in going back and picking it up and rereading. A lot of that is because you didn't enjoy it or you didn't get everything you wanted out of it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I prefer a great story and the art doesn't have to be, I'll say it like this. I can take B minus C plus art if the story is A plus. Now, if the story is garbage and the art is garbage, y'all not even gonna know I bought it because I ain't gonna talk. I'm not gonna talk about it. But yeah. Now that's wait a bit. He says, great, bad story, great art. The last 8 years of Black Panther has shown us. Look, say what you will. That John Ridley run with those Alex Ross covers, yeah. You may not have liked what homie wrote, but you can't front on that art that Alex Ross did on them covers. Those covers were amazing. Uh, those covers were amazing. So again, that's Alex Ross. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, what are you gonna say no to Alex Ross? No, you want that dude to sign up. 101 podcast also says, just a reminder, Free Comic Book Day is coming up next Saturday. That's what's up, for real. Manifestos, that's how I felt about the Nemesis story. Zell says, I agree, bad artwork can kill a good story. Yeah. Manifest, that Namor cover is awesome. The most disrespectful comic book cover in the history of comic books. I'd be like, man, I just I I I love that cover because it's literally it is the most horrible, disrespectful cover imaginable. I don't know what I don't know what inspiration came for them to do that cover like that, but I just thought that was just they were just foul for that. But that was the super troll of trolls. Yeah, that one right there. Namor got his chicken smelling behind wrapped in the Wakandan flag. Drawn off his testicles with the Wakandan flag. It just don't stop, boy. I tell you that John really runs. Say what you will about it, but it is the run that keeps on giving. Yeah, man, that was that Namor cover is hilarious. Bo Big said this is an outrage. Look, bro, you got to have a sense of humor when it comes to this kind of stuff, man. Comics will get you, bro. Comics will get you. It will get you every time. He says, case in point, who remembers any storyline from Top Cow or Image comics from the 90s? Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. I'm going to be honest. The stuff that they did back in the 90s, all of it was, I kind of want to give it a, man, you know what? You know what the covers, the Top Cow Image covers of the 90s remind me of? It reminds me of there was a time. It's not as bad as it used to be, but do y'all remember when mumble rap was like really? That's all you heard, and everything sounded the same. Back in the 90s, all those covers looked the same. And that's no shot at Eric Larson and those guys that were doing, but it seemed like nobody had a style that was their own. Even Jim Lee, some of the stuff that he did wasn't, this is kind of like, come on now. It just looked goofy. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if they were trying to distance themselves from Todd McFarlane because he had the Spawn stuff. The Spawn stuff was electric when it came out, but nobody had art comparable to Todd McFarlane. All of that art looked the same. It all looked the same. So, I had to watch this, man. They did their flag dirty. Yeah, it was not a good look. But that's the power of art. I mean, they spoke a lot of, they said a picture's worth 1,000 words. Boy, it was 1,000 words. Yeah. Manifest the Rob Liefeld covers look the same. Yep. Rob Liefeld was the exception. He was whack on both sides. Oh, y'all stop shading Rob Liefeld. Oh man. Yeah. So yeah, man. I mean, it was a lot of different guys back in the 90s, man, that gave us some art that was not that good. They were kind of copying off each other, I felt like, back in the 90s. I think that's what made Milestone dope because the artists, they had their own style. At least they had their own style. Some will say that Milestone's art was not that good, but I give Milestone props for just having their own style, for doing their watercolors, for doing those things the way they did them, because it really separates them from everybody else. Because they could have done the same thing as those guys did, but they didn't. They created a style, they ran with it, stuck with it, and Dennis Cowan was there to kind of help, power that engine. Him and John Paul Leon and others, Chris Cross, they all were doing different things over there. So yeah. So Rob's body proportions were ridiculous. Men and women had extra. Yeah, he played up that. And I guess I can't fault a comic book head or a comic book writer for doing comic book stuff, because that's exactly what it is. Everything's exaggerated. Y'all remember that Captain American cover, you know what I'm saying? You like that dude like he needed a bra. Yeah. So God's verse, peace to the family. What up? Yes, indeed. So yeah, man. So that's all I wanted to holler at y'all tonight about as far as the down the rabbit hole stuff, you know what I'm saying? When we get these covers, man, and we excited about them, and then we open up the book and it's like it's not what we thought we were getting. You know what I'm saying? Um, it is what it is. It says Seacoast says Milestone gave us Humberto Ramos and Jamal Igle. Yeah. Matter of fact, I picked up some Jamal Igle. What was it? Firestorm. I picked up some Firestorm floppies this week with some Jamal Igle. Matter of fact, there was some, that run, that DC run back in the mid 2000s. Before Jamal Igle got on that comic book, it was Criss Cross. Criss Cross was the artist on that comic book, and they look eerily similar, But yeah. So what'd you pick up this week? Did you already touch on that? No, no. What did I pick up? Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and transition with that. What you said, Amir. We're gonna go ahead and transition to chat talk. And so, what I picked up this week was the usual suspects. Night Thrasher #3. This book here. I'm glad to see my man's back, but this issue was one of those like, man, just get over yourself. I mean, dude is very, very emo, and I get it, you know what I'm saying? When you are helping people, the last thing you want is to compete with people that you're helping to blame you for everything. Or as my man says in the Denzel Washington's character in Roman J. Israel Esquire, I'm tired of doing the impossible for the ungrateful. And in this particular book, we know that the characters, Dwayne, he's shut down his foundation. He's trying to help Harlem, but he's getting no love for doing that. And it's kind of like, well, it's like, thanks, but no thanks. You know what I'm saying? But it was a very, very moody type issue. It was good. It was cool. It's better than than issue 1 and 2. I'll say that. It definitely is better than issue 1 and 2. At least you get some introspection in this particular book or whatever. But uh, it's one of those things where this character, I don't know how far they're going to take it beyond this issue, beyond this limited run, but they could really bring Night Thrasher back in a good way. They could bring the New Warriors back. They tried to bring the New Warriors back, but Marvel did some goofy stuff, and they got laughed. They got laughed before they could drop an issue. So they should bring the old squad back. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but who knows? So he's not skating through the streets kicking butt. It's only 4 issues. Well, if it's only going to be 4 issues, then the next issue is the last one. But no, he's not doing. There's no fighting in this issue at all. It's literally a montage between him and Silhouette talking about his value and how the people making him feel and how the people feel about him, and the people of Harlem, which is weird because you got to realize that Harlem has been gentrified. So there's literally different people in Harlem traditionally that wouldn't be in Harlem, if that makes any sense. And they're protesting. As I'm reading this, I'm looking at this and I'm like, yeah, this is a little different. But that's the result of gentrification. So if you are conscious, you can see that in the book. He said, man, look, Dwayne and Sil been saying the same thing the last 3 years. Yeah, well, it is what it is. So go get it. Go pick it up. So I bought that. The Acolyte book I showed you guys a while ago. I picked up the Tuskers book. Tuskers is actually 3 issues. This is issue 2. I got issue 3. I gotta find some more. I gotta locate issue number 1. That's about the poachers. I didn't grab it because I didn't see it nowhere in the city. Never saw number 1 nowhere. But I just happened to be at a shop that sells independent books, so I grabbed both of them. So I'm looking forward to reading that when I get a chance. My favorite read of the week. My favorite read of the week was this. Actually, is Batman Dylan Dog, issue number 2. This is a hilarious. I'm a Batman fan, and this is a dope book because Dylan Dog is kind of like John Constantine. And what's funny is in issue 2, John Constantine shows up, and when he shows up, you know, hilarity ensues. So that was a very, very fun book to read, man. So I know a lot of people don't like the Bat. I do. Batman's in this issue. Batman be Batman. He always got a plan. He's always prepared. He's got a file on everybody. I'm convinced that Batman has a file on you and me. He's somewhere in the Bat Cave watching us right now. But yeah, man, that's a dope Batman story for real. How to Watch it said gentrification really kicked into high gear when Bill Clinton bought an office in Harlem. Yeah. Louisiana Kid asked a question, and I can definitely say yes to that answer. Did anyone else get the feeling that the finality of Blade was rushed? It was. It definitely was. Definitely was. It was the only issue in that particular run that I felt like was rushed. Everything else was good, smooth sailing. Get to this last issue, and it just got real choppy. Then we were done. So yeah. Camille said you should write that bootleg comic, OG. Batman be Batman. We might have to look into that. Y'all holler at your boy. Any artists out there, holler at your boy. We can do it. We can do a bootleg. Might holler at your boy K. Get my man K on the phone. Yeah. Yeah. Azur B says, yep, anticlimactic. It was, you know, like it's one of those things where, you know, Brian Edward Hill had to wrap it up. You know, they gave him 10 issues. I think that was the plan. I don't think that it was one of those things where it got canceled. They gave him, he literally made the whole 10 issues a full story arc. You know what I'm saying? A complete story. So, you know, I can't really be mad at that dude. That dude wrote a good run, but that last issue, it probably could have went another 2 issues. You know, they should have gave him 12, in my opinion. He should have got 12 issues. Should have got a full year, but that didn't happen. So, yeah. Scott Caesar said, "You being too generous, OG. This Night Thrasher run looks like a middle school contest. Big trash, poo-poo art, and nobody writer. If this is all they got, put Dwayne back in the cellar." Ooh, ouch. Scott, my man. You're right. I was trying to be nice. I was trying to be nice. It's just like, you know how athletes go out and perform on the court and they have to do their press conference after the game. They got to find the silver lining. You know, we gotta do better. I gotta do better. We got to go back to the drawing board, and yeah. We'll do better. We'll be. Zura say shots fired. Yeah. Gaming Wallahasa never really liked Batman writers making way too bigger than his gimmick gadgets. You know, here's the thing. And I'll say this: it depends on the writer, in my opinion. Um, you can get good Batman stories. Um, the best Batman stories, in my opinion, are the detective stories. Now, having said that, you know what I'm saying, with the detective stories, you're going to get the more gadget stuff or whatever with Batman. It is what it is. But at the same time, I do like when when he's hunting. I like that. I don't like it when he's overpowered, when he's got a contingency plan for everything. I like when he has to think. Um, it's the reason why that dude is the apex predator at DC. It's not Superman, it's Batman. It's literally about 15 Batman titles or Batman themed titles. Um, and you would think that having that much history, that many titles, that you would run out of stuff to talk about, run out of stuff to read or whatever. Like that Dylan Dog book, I had no interest in picking up that Dylan Dog book whatsoever. I had no interest in getting this. But this book is thick. This book is about 40 pages, and it's $3.99. And I got it for half price. I got issue 1 for half price. So let me check this out. I read it, enjoyed it. Now, I do like the Black Label, DC Black Label Batman books. Those are amazing. I have not read a whack Black Label Batman book. They all fire. Now, Louisiana Kid says, and the man John Stewart War Journal is just dragging on and on and on. This thing should have ended 3 issues. I find it hard to get through. I mean, I'm enjoying the John Stewart book. It's a different take on John Stewart. Is he taking his time with it? I do feel like he's taking his time with it. I don't know if he's going to get the same. I mean, Jeffrey Thorne's book, I think it went 12 issues. His run went 12 issues. It's up to like 7 or 8, I want to say. So Jeffrey Thorne's run was pretty good. It was rough in spots, but Philip Kennedy Johnson's War Journal has been all right, in my opinion. We all like what we like, you know what I'm saying? And so if you're struggling with it, I think part of it may be because it's not a lot of action in this comic book. There is some action, but it's not a whole lot. I mean, he's got issues going on with his family and that kind of thing. And I know that that's something that that's not everybody's jam. You know, people, they get comics, they want to see action, they want to see, a character. And the reason why I'm enjoying is because I think John Stewart as a character, as a Green Lantern character, has not really been flushed out. He's had moments, but as flushed out as a character, who he really is, I think we still trying to figure that out. But that's just my opinion. Now it says, I didn't read Blade yet, but does it show any ties to the Midnight Suns? Well, I mean, Blade is a part of the Midnight Suns. There was the Midnight Suns run that was like 6 issues that he was a part of. Which is interesting too is Marvel Unlimited had a series online before the Blade book came out, and it talked about his relationship with the Midnight Suns. So he's been part of the Midnight Suns for a minute. So it does tie in. Now it's not tying in terms of this book, but before this run started, it was like a 3-issue mini that Brian Edward Hill did, and Blade was seeing a therapist. And part of his therapy was talking about his teammates. And he felt like the Midnight Suns was his family. So you should go back if you have Marvel Unlimited, go back and try to find that little run that preceded the Blade run. That Brian Edward Hill just finished. Yeah. Now Gordon says he thought that the Blade 10 was very good. I thought it was rushed. I mean, it was okay, but I do think it was rushed, in my opinion. So Seacole says John Stewart's book was set to be 12 issues, so it's being padded out. That's a good word for it. What up to Khatib? He says, I enjoy Hills, Blade, and Black Panther, but his books are more like breadcrumbs instead of a meal. That's fair. C Code, the Black Label books are not at the mercy of Batman editors. As messed up as they are, DC is still looking for a head Batman editor. Yeah, 1 in 100 podcast says B. Hill is writing the Midnight Suns mini as well. Yes, the Blade book was supposed to lead the Midnight Suns and the Vampire. I mean, he's in it, but the book, you can't tell that he's getting ready to go hang out with the Midnight Suns by the end of this book, because it doesn't really say that. It just tells you at the end of the book that, you know, and I quote, yeah, there will be another Blade run. Now, check this out. This is what it says on the last page. This volume has come to a close, but look for a new Blade series later this year. So he's coming back. Blade is coming back. But Blade stars in the vampiric event of the summer next month, Blood Hunt issue #1. And to see Blade, Tulip, and Blade's former team, the Midnight Suns, take over in the world overrun by vampires, check out Midnight Suns Blood Hunt issue 1. So that's all that's been said about the Midnight Suns as far as this book goes. So yeah. He said, I read that online, OG. Don't have the Marvel Unlimited thought. Wink, wink. Yeah, shout out. Shout out to all y'all getting around that paywall. Yeah. So yeah. They say otherwise his Blade in therapy, who would be willing to take him on as a client? Well, there's a doctor. He has a doctor. So yeah. What up, Brooklyn? So let Dr. Eve write it. Well, you know, she probably could do good with Blade, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know who's going to be writing the next Blade. Eve Ewing's writing the X-Men book. So, you know, yeah. Seco says they're doing Blade like Scarlet Witch, and run ends and the new one starts later on. Yeah. So love to see Blade in a Vampire Masquerade storyline. That would be dope. That would be interesting for sure. I kind of wish that they would play up his British background in a story a little bit, because you really don't get that aesthetic. You kind of have to like, if you're conscious that Blade is British, when you read the book, I don't read him as a British guy, but he's clearly British due to his history. But I would like to see, you know, them do that with him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Blade should have got at least 2 more issues. All that set up for a 3-page fight. Do better, Marvel. That fight was done before my hot pocket. That's a good one, bro. That's a good one, Scott. That was up. So now I see Idris Elba. Yeah. So Blade is British. I did not know that. Yes, he's British. Yes. Super random, but I would like to see Chuck Brown write a Black Lightning story. He did a great job on Black Man. Speaking of that, Amir, they got my man locked up. This has been over 6 years since we've seen a Black Lightning book. And so for those of you that don't know, this is how my man's looking these days. Derek, can you show him? Derek's got a thing he's gonna show y'all. Yeah, my man is under lock and key. That's the Black Lightning in the vault. That's a picture of the vault. We were able to procure a picture of the DC vault, and my man is like on shelf 10, aisle 14. And we were able to get in and get out, and that's the image we got. So Black Lightning is locked down. We don't know when he's going to get out. But y'all write DC, let them know. They got my man locked up, won't let me out. Yeah, he's on lock. He's on lock, man. Yeah. So yeah. So everybody knows I love. So now I'm singing this. That's it. When we got into the building. That's when we were all singing. Locked up, won't let me out. Like, man, let my man out. Let my man be a free Black Lightning. That's what we gonna do. Hashtag free Black Lightning. Yeah. Super Slash says Trevor deserves to have him back. Yeah. Well, boy, it's a whole lot to that story. Tony Isabella kind of let some stuff go recently on his personal Facebook page. And he said that when he was doing Cold Dead Hands, he wanted Trevor Von Eaton to be a part. And DC told him he wasn't available. That was a lie. And it just goes to show you how dirty this game is, bro. How dirty this game is. But yeah, Tony said that he tried to get Trevor and Von Eaton involved in the Cold Dead Hands book. And DC said he wasn't available. And that was a lie. And it's like, man, I mean, now to watch this. Who do you think needs a new book outside of Black Lightning? Luke Cage needs a book. Falcon needs a book. Not Sam Wilson, Captain America. Falcon needs a book. Who else? I would like to see Dr. Miss at DC get a one shot or a run. I said recently on our Wednesday wrap up that I Misty Knight. I would love to see Misty Knight get a shot, get a book. Vixen. I would like to see Vixen get a book. Dr. Voodoo for sure. So yeah, those are a few. King Sigma says Black Panther needs a writer who will let him walk in his power as king. Well, the problem is, King Sigma, is that they got to have an editor that will let him walk in his power as king. Dr. Ewing would have made T'Challa a king if that's what Marvel wanted. They clearly don't. And, it's interesting in that I said it a few weeks ago when T'Challa was kind of like coming to himself. When he was coming to himself and saying, I'm so much more than my mantle or my, me being king. Like, no, dude, there's hierarchies to this thing. There's God, then there's king, and then there's everybody else. You're supposed to be a king. I don't need listen, with all respect to all Black Panther fans, I don't need T'Challa introspective as to who he is. Dude is the king of Wakanda. Point blank, period. Anything less than that is a disservice to the 1966 origin of that character. I'm not doing this back and forth with people saying it is a mantle, it is this. No, he is supposed to be the king of Wakanda. And until they do that, and that's a Marvel call, that is not a writer's call. Because Brian Edward Hill is he's king in the Ultimate Universe. So I don't understand it, but shout out to all the Black Panther fans. At some point, he'll be king again. When that is, I do not know. So, Lawrence Report said, love the Black Lightning shirt. Appreciate you. Thank you, sir. So what is it with the big two and only pushing Black legacy characters and sidekicks as if they don't own all the IP? You got me, bro. Y'all figure it out. Y'all let me know. I don't understand that. We were talking recently. The triathlon was an original character, original Black character. They just made him 3D man. They just made him 3D man, a legacy character. You literally made an original character a legacy character, right? You've done this before. You did it with Sam Wilson. He was Falcon. He was an original character, but then you made him Cap Falcon, or you made him Captain America. You made him a legacy character. An original character becomes a legacy character. But somehow or another, they think that's what we want, or they think that's what they want to trot out there. And right, they own all the IP. Why are they doing this? I have no idea. Lazy writing, I don't know. I don't understand it now, and I think I never will. So, yep. Cole says to Scott Caesar, nobody wants to do the work building up non-legacy folks because they don't want to fight with the toxic fans, and stores don't want those books. Yeah. King Signal, Marvel is pushing Miles to the moon. They got to do something, bro. I mean, Miles is the future. There's no getting around that. Call him a legacy character, whatever. But he's the future as far as Marvel is concerned. If you're not on that train, you might as well get it, because that's where that train is going. That's where it's going. It says, Seco says, notice aside from Cage and T'Challa, how many non-legacy Black folks have more than 2 or 3 volumes? I mean, it is what it is, y'all. Jay says, with that said, others are not enjoying Ultimate Black Panther, or do they feel it needs more action, or is it slow? I think everybody's enjoying the Ultimate Black Panther. I think this character, Brian Edward Hill is doing an amazing story. I think that it's dope. It's only 3 issues in. It doesn't feel like it, but it's only 3 issues in. It just started. Now, when is it going to end? I have no clue. I don't think it's ongoing, though it might be. I'm not sure. I'm enjoying it. I think a lot of people enjoy it. But the problem with the Ultimate Universe is the Ultimate Universe, at the end of the day, it doesn't, to Black Panther fans, not all, but to some Black Panther fans, the hardcore Black Panther fans say that this doesn't count because it's not the 616. It's not the Marvel continuity. It's not canon. It's its own thing by itself. And I joke with my man Paul. I love him, and I harass him all the time about BP. But for them, it's like, okay, we're gonna enjoy it. We're gonna buy every book, whatever. But we can't record. This is not the 616. So it's literally an alternative Black Panther. So I'm enjoying. I think it's cool. I think I'm liking the book that he's writing. We're gonna get to see. I mean, from what the solicitors say, he's gonna be with Storm. How long we been screaming for that? How long people been wanting that since the Hudson run? So yeah. So do you think Mr. Trevik will get a book since Jane Gunn has plans for him in the DCU? Well, here's the thing about the DCU. They may put him in a book or 2. He may get a special, but I don't think he's gonna get a run. They don't do the MCU and Marvel is not the same as the DECU or DCEU and DC. They do it a little different. Like they'll put out a one-shot promoting it, but they don't actually just do a full run of stuff. They just don't do that. They try to do something similar with Black Adam, the Christopher Priest book, the Christopher Priest Black Adam book he did. He did that prior to that book coming out. But when it did come out, they did a bunch of one shots. Black Adams, Atom Smasher, Cyclone, Hawkman. They did all of those books, and they may do something similar with Mr. Terrific. Is he gonna get a full run? I doubt it. I don't even like how they market Mr. Terrific. They market him as the third smartest man in the DC universe. I mean, what's the criteria for that? To be the third smartest? Okay, I'm like, there's the smartest, and then there's not the smartest. But he's the third smartest. So if he's not number one, who's number one and who's number two? And what does he have to do to take number two? Or what does he have to do to be number one? I'm just asking because I just think it's odd how they promote that dude. Hype Style says, cool Black Lightning shirt. Thank you. Appreciate it. Shout out to my man Jay Napoleon Winston. He did this specially for me. Winston's Wham. He's a good brother. What's going on, JT? So I want a new Luke Cage book and also a Bishop book. There, I hope to get an Isaiah Bradley book. I will be here for an Isaiah Bradley book. If you're going to do a Captain America, a Black Captain America book, that should be the book, in my humble opinion. Why they got us running around chasing, trying to figure out what Sam Wilson is doing as Captain America? Yeah. Because Sam Wilson being Captain America is gotten long in the tooth. It's gotten long in the tooth. And that run that he just had, Symbol of Freedom, it's okay. It was okay. But I want Falcon to be Falcon. Let Steve Rogers be Captain America. And if you're going to have a Black Captain America, start with the original. Start with the first one, Isaiah Bradley. In my humble opinion. Seco says, well, they're doing something with Mr. Terrific's son in the future with Kid Flash, spoiling some others. Okay. Azil Ray says, this crazy DC animated film doesn't have any Black Lightning, Bronze Tiger, or even Cyborg film. Well, I mean, Bronze Tiger was in Soul of the Dragon, the Batman Soul of the Dragon book. Animated show, animated cartoon, I should say. Bronze Tiger was in that. But no, there's no Black Lightning and no Cyborg. No. Scott Caesar says, Mr. Terrific is smarter than Lex and Bruce Wayne. He's even smarter than Reed. But that'll be counter to their agenda. Real readers know that, though. Can't stand DC. I mean, look, it is what it is. Sam Wilson as Captain America is due to the upcoming Captain America movie Marvel doing it. I mean, we know C. Cole, man. It's just, I don't know. Azul says B Tiger, Bronze Tiger gets no love. Look, I think that the problem with Bronze Tiger is Bronze Tiger he's not out front. He's never been out front. The last Bronze Tiger book that I read, shout out to my man Amir. Me and Amir read a book called Rogues. It's a DC Black Label book. It was 4 issues. Bronze Tiger was in it, but it's about villains. And in this particular book, Bronze Tiger is a villain, but he's with a team of villains trying to break into Gorilla City and get paid. It's a pretty dope story. But man, I mean, you got to be a DC guy to know that, though. But it was one of the better Black Label DC books that I read. And that didn't include Batman in it. So yeah, that's a dope book, and he's in that book. Did everyone pre-order Sanford Green's Doom book? Yeah. It should be. It'll be out next month, I think. Or either that next month. Yeah, well, I guess May. Brooklyn says, a right. Full king must feel right within himself, or he'd be like Namor, who can't get out of his own way. There's a Namor, as a matter of fact, there's a new Namor book getting ready to come out as well. King Sigma said they straight up disrespect for the Bronze Tiger. I also need a new Bronze Tiger figure. Yeah. I mean, again, I don't know if he's going to be in any of the Suicide Squad stuff that's coming out. Amanda Waller is going to be on top of the DC universe, but we have not seen anything about Bronze Tiger being mentioned. And if he's not in there, because that's kind of who he's connected to in the DC universe, it's unfortunate. But I have not seen anything about Bronze Tiger being a part of the Suicide Squad. So yeah. I don't know, guys. They said Batman would cry if Sabretooth or Craven showed up and got. Yeah, he'd have to call out all the Robins, the whole Bat family. Joker would cry if Sabretooth showed up and got. That would be a mess. He says, on my way home from the airport, what are you talking about? We talking about a little bit of this. We talking about a little bit of that. We were talking about the Black Panther book, issue 14, with your man Namor on the cover. Yeah, but no, we've been talking about, Paul, just what's going on. Who needs a new book? That kind of thing. So that's what we've been talking about lately. So we were talking about just now, talking about Bronze Tiger. So Pericles says, I would like to see Duke Thomas get a series. Yeah. Speaking of the Bat family, I'm enjoying Outsiders. Outsiders is a little different book. It's Batwoman, Luke Fox, and the drummer. It's different. It's not really even a superhero book. It's like if there were a group of superheroes that investigated certain phenomena. It's kind of like that. It's kind of cool. Kind of cool book. I mean, I've enjoyed that. That's been a dope, surprising read from DC. Yeah. Zale Ray says Sabretooth is a whole horror movie waiting to be made by Blumhouse. I mean, look, I that would be dope if Sabretooth shows up in the Deadpool Wolverine movie. That would be dope. That would be dope to see. If he shows up, man, I'm kind of hoping he does. But yeah. Victor Creed ain't no joke. That dude is that dude is gangster. Real. See, not with the hate by most Batman fans, but Duke Thomas. Seco says, you mean the planetary book pretending to be outsiders? That's funny. I see you, Seco. I see you working, Seco. Louisiana Kids. I want to see a Mr. Knight 4-issue series. Yeah, that would be dope too. I want to see Mr. Knight do some work, get some mileage in. Man, there's a whole lot, man. I want DC to bring back Orpheus. I think Jeffrey Thorne or somebody said that Orpheus isn't even owned by DC, or they don't have the rights to Orpheus anymore. I don't know what that's about, but I would like to see them bring back Orpheus. I thought Orpheus was dope. He got killed in war games, messing around with Batman. Yeah. So yeah. So anyway, that's what's going on, guys. What else on y'all mind? What did y'all read this week that y'all liked? You know what I'm saying? What was dope for y'all? One in 100 podcast says Sam Wilson is capped at the Avengers Park in Disney World. He's never going back to Falcon. The mouse has him now. Yeah, pretty much. So what publisher is that Doom book? That's Marvel. That's Marvel. Matter of fact, Sanford Green is doing that book. Junie Ba is doing a Robin the Boy Wonder book. I'm looking forward to that when that comes out. I love Junie Ba's writing. I love his art. So, Louisiana Kid says, I want a 4-issue Cardiac series. Cardiac is a dope character. Unless DC gave up the rights to Orpheus like they did with Zero and Bloodhound. Well, I'm okay. Somebody get with 50 Cent, find out what's going on with Zero. Because he got the book, he got the rights to that character, and they haven't done anything with him. So, you know, not that I'm just the biggest Zero fan, but anyway. Yeah. Yep. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Well, look, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and shut this down. Now, let's see. Wait a minute. Have you seen Storm and Blue Marvel appearance at Magneto? Yes, I am reading the Magneto book, The Resurrection of Magneto. I am reading it. It's okay. It's not something that it's not groundbreaking or whatever, but I have been reading it. Mark Robinson says, has anyone checked out The Creature from the Black Lagoon? I thought it was pretty good. I want that cover. I want that variant cover by Alex Rouse, black and white sketch. That is amazing. 1-100 Podcast, Dark Storm by Kevin Greavy is really good. Yeah, I think Paul would agree with you. And shout out to my man. My mirror got a chance to meet Kevin Greavy down in McAllen. He was at a con down in McAllen, was added last minute. So when I saw that he was going to be down there, I hit my man up. He was already on it. Louisiana kids say, 50 just put a studio in my hometown. Hopefully Zero will get made. Style So Serious got caught up on Ministry of Compliance. It's pretty decent. Whatever happened to Moonlight, the Maryland Moonlight mini? I don't know, bro. I didn't know they were doing one. I know they did a one issue on Origin, and it might still happen. Who knows? I don't, they put stuff out there, man. They tease us with stuff, and then it's like, okay, where y'all go, So we'll see. You know what I'm saying? Usually, characters around Superman, they try to do stuff around. Superman is one of the few IPs I will say that will have characters that they try to do things with. Naomi is somebody that comes to mind. She got 2 seasons out of her run or whatever after being introduced to the Superman family. But the others, it's a little different. It's a little different. We have not seen much come out of the Bat family. Signal has not had a run. Batwing had 1 run. Well, I guess you could say it was 2 volumes, I guess. But not much else as far as the black characters in the Bat family. But it's a little different with Superman. So we'll see. Still a new character. We'll see. Lifestyle says, salute, Rich. See you next podcast. I just remembered Dallas Fan Expo is in June. Countdown. All heads feel free to represent, show up. I might try to go. It's a lot going on. Summer's gonna be packed, y'all. The summer's gonna be packed. Gonna be packed. We got Atlantic Comic Con in August. James says King Spawn. Yeah, King Spawn's dope. I love King Spawn. I love all the Spawn universe is on fire right now. They got so much dope stuff. It's just ridiculous. Spawn book is dope. The King Spawn is dope. The Gunslinger Spawn is dope. Salmon Twitch is back. I'm enjoying that. He's got a new title called Rat City. He's getting ready to drop, I think, Misery. Yeah, Uncle Todd's doing his thing. So yeah. Jermaine, what's going on? Good to see you. I'm about to wrap this up though. The Scorch is dope as well. So yeah, I mean, I really dig what Todd McFarlane is doing. Anybody that puts out a book that's $2.99 And when the first issue drops, it's $3.99. I'm for that. Comic book heads unite. So yeah, but I am enjoying. King Spawn has been excellent, excellent. I'm enjoying Scorch. I want to see them do a little bit more with Scorch. Haunt, which was one of the characters in Scorch, kind of took a back seat. I think Haunt is back now, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, that Todd's got a well-rounded universe. So that would be probably my favorite comic if it were not for Philadelphia, which is my favorite comic. So yeah. Heroes Con is coming up in Charlotte this June. There's a lot of stuff coming out, man. Summertime is packed. I mean, I don't even know how we're gonna make this happen. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm on the struggle bus. I'm on the struggle bus, y'all. But that's okay. We're gonna get through it. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up, man. Glad you guys can hang out with me tonight. Let me go ahead and get a benediction. But before I do, just quick reminder, Black Comic Lords will be at Atlantic Comic Con August the 17th and 18th, I believe. And that's in Norfolk, Virginia. We're going to be hanging out. We'll be panelists or moderating panels. We'll be doing that. We'll be hanging out. I'm going to be somewhere trying to buy a comic book and, hide from the crowds because I'm not a crowd person. It's crazy to know I'm going to a convention and I hate crowds. But we're going to work it out. We're going to work it out. But I will be in the building. Yours truly. Paul's going to be there. Derek's going to be there. Herschel's going to be there, hopefully. I think Angel's going too. So the Black Comic Lord Squad will be representing. We'll be down there checking it out. So that's late summer. But, Dallas Fan Expo is, due to come out. There's just found out recently that Tim Fielder, the writer of Infinitum, in the history of the hip hop, graphic novel history of hip hop, is going to be in Houston. I think next month, and or in June. I'm not sure. It's gonna be down there sometime soon, but I'm supposed to be down there in June with Gulf Coast Cosmos for some things, and so I'll be doing some things down there with them. So we'll have a busy summer. We'll have a busy summer. Con season is full swing, y'all. So y'all be safe, man. That Rona's still out there. Don't play with your health, and don't play with your life. Be safe, whatever you do. With that said, I'm gonna go ahead and get a benediction, and the benediction comes from Psalm 27:1. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is a stronghold in my life. Whom shall I dread? Right? From the stronghold that is Black Comic Lords and Black Superheroes Forever. It's your boy Rich. We say peace. Until next time, we out.